Hi guys, it's the McLaughlin Girls and welcome back to another video. We are going to be talking about what you're all interested in, what you've all been asking, all been wondering. We've been posting TikToks on our page recently about Megan in hospital, daily vlog. So I'd like film me going and I'd do like a voiceover and then we'd see like Megan and her process of what was going on. And so many people were asking what happened, what's going on, why is this, why is that? So we thought we'd put it into a little YouTube video for you guys so you guys can understand what actually went on.
I just want to start off this video by saying a massive thank you. I know a lot of people say this when they go through situations, thank you for the support, but it actually really did help me get through probably like one of the scariest things that I've actually ever been through. Mentally, physically, I've never really had a scare like that in my life, and I do think this video is important for people to know actually the full story and what went on. If I'd left it any longer, who knows what could have happened, and it is actually yeah, this is what this video is going to be about, guys, and I hope you enjoy. And if you have any more questions after this video, feel free to DM me.
How did this all start? So Megan and I were actually going to an event, a premiere of Birdie, Catherine's...
Don't do the space.
Birdie. And Megan was feeling a bit ill. She had like a pain. And then I was like, oh, we don't need to go. And then we were like, do you know what? We have to go. Like we've already said we're going. So we got ready, did our hair and makeup, went, and it was so much fun. And as she was sitting there, she was like, oh, I don't feel well. Do I feel a bit hot? And I felt I'm the worst person to ask for stuff like that, to be fair. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I was
like, I don't know, ask someone else. I don't know.
I don't know, like, I don't know how to tell stuff like that. She was a little bit hot. I said to her, we can go home if you want to, like, there's no rush, whatever. And she was like, oh no, let's stay. And then we went out for dinner. It was nice, but Megan still didn't feel well. And I'm laughing because of the neck part. So Megan's been complaining all night, saying she was like, oh, I was really hot
and I had a pain in my back.
Like pain in her back.
And I kept saying to someone, like, I played football at a kid's birthday party, and I think I pulled a muscle.
Yeah, so she was like, I've got so much pain in my back the whole dinner. And then as soon as we left, we were saying goodbye, and this one of the guys that was there, he like squeezed Megan and like picked her up
and hugged me, but full on like lifted me up as a hug to say like bye, like, oh, it was lovely seeing you.
Megan started crying from that hug. Like she got in the car and she was crying in pain. We couldn't believe, as if we just spoke the whole dinner about Megan's pain, and he literally squeezes her back. I was like, what's wrong with you? Imagine saying I've got a toothache and then yanking on my tooth.
I'm immediately crying in the Uber, like, oh my god, like, this is not normal.
I thought it was a trapped nerve.
I thought it was a trapped nerve because when he hugged me, it was like the pain went all the way up my neck, and I was like, kind of, my body position was like this in the car, wasn't I? And I was just crying, and I was like, I just need to get home and have paracetamol. And I kept saying to myself, just have paracetamol, get a hot water bottle on your back, it'll go away. And that was what my process was in my head. And
then the next day I went to Max's that night because he was going on holiday, and Megan was texting me saying that she was in pain and stuff like that, and she was telling everyone was like, go to A&E, go to A&E, you still shouldn't be in pain,
because it had been like 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. So Megan went. You went well late, no?
Yeah, so basically these 3 days I'm just saying to myself, I've definitely pulled something, or it's a trapped nerve. I'm calling my auntie because she gets a lot of trapped nerves, doesn't she? I'm saying to myself, oh, it's fine. My mum's like, you should really get it checked. And I'm like, Mum, I definitely feels like a pulled muscle. So I kind of just pushed it aside for the 3 days that I was in pain. But then when Millie went to Max's that morning, didn't you? That whole day I was saying to Josh, moaning to Josh, he was having to do everything for me. Like I couldn't reach things. I can't even move my right arm. So I called 111 and they said to me, explain what was going on. I explained, and they booked me an emergency appointment in the hospital within the hour because they were afraid that I had an appendicitis. I got ready, went to the car, and I don't even remember this car ride because I just kind of went blank. I reached this level of pain in my front and back. Not even a hot water bottle and paracetamol was doing. I was taking paracetamol back to back, and I, now saying it out loud, I feel so stupid. Yeah. You would usually just say like, what are you doing? But I went to the hospital straight away and they said, we think you've got appendicitis. And I was there for about 6 hours trying to see a doctor, even though I'd had an appointment. So the process of moving from outpatient's appointment to A&E is so horrible. You gotta wait for ages. I eventually see a doctor, she gives me strong painkillers, and the pain is literally gone. And I just think, oh my God, it's gone. Like maybe I just needed strong painkillers. I said, do you know what? I'll just go home because I'm feeling okay. And I should never have went home, because that night the pain was just to the point where Josh was having to like lift my body up. The next day when I went to A&E and I saw a surgeon, he said to me, you've got an appendicitis. He felt around my stomach, exactly where he was pressing. I was like screaming in pain out. And I'm not one to shout or anything. I just go like, I'd probably keep it in, but I couldn't. I had to get it out. He then rushed me straight away and said, we're gonna book you in to get keyhole surgery. So I am now thinking like, what the hell? Where my back pain turned into an appendicitis, they rushed me straight away. And I said, wait a minute, like I don't think it's an appendicitis. It could be something else. Can we check? Can we do a scan? And he said, we don't want to give you a CT scan because the radiation can be really dangerous for someone that's quite young. And I said, like, I don't care. I don't want to go get a surgery, get scars for something that it might not even 100% be. So I got my CT scan and we found out that he was completely wrong. My appendix was swollen because both kidneys were infected. After that, it was just kind of one thing after the other. Then they found out that both my kidneys are infected. I had a UTI that I had no idea about. Like you get UTIs, don't you?
I haven't had one in ages, but I used to get them a lot. Like 4 years ago, I used to get them quite a lot. You can literally get a UTI from the types of knickers you wear. Like if you get a UTI, don't think you're like dirty and like stuff like that. Like,
no,
it's not like that.
It can be loads of things.
Wearing tight jeans as well.
pH levels inside you, like when your body cleans itself.
It's very common.
People think it's always due to sex, but it is not.
You can even get one
from loads of situations. It is a common thing in our family, and I think it's because of our pH levels, isn't it? Like we got them when we were quite young, like even before we had boyfriends and everything. So
well, Mia gets them.
Yeah.
Mia's like what? Mia's 8, isn't she?
Yeah, but it's to do with like pH levels. What are your symptoms when you get a UTI?
I hate it. It's the worst pain. It's like always needing to go to the toilet, but you can't go. You want to go to the toilet, you sit down on the toilet and nothing comes out. And you're just like, oh,
and then when it does come out, it's like stinging and your belly's bloated.
Yeah.
So all of those symptoms are when you know you get a UTI, or you can get blood, or a weird colouring. So when they got up my scans, this is like quite bad. You've had a UTI travel to both your kidneys as opposed to down below to your urine. This is like a really rare situation because it's not supposed to. When this does happen, it only goes to one kidney. It went to both my kidneys. Yeah. While this is all getting found out, we're talking, this is over the space of 10 hours. I'm texting Millie like, my fever is through the roof. I've got a 39.9 fever. I can't stand. I was like shaking.
So
I'm saying this information to you, but I actually don't really remember. Josh had to kind of relay what had went on, and I was saying like, I don't care if it comes back an appendicitis, like I just need some medication. And they were like, if it is appendicitis, you have to have no medication in your body to go for surgery. As soon as the CT scan came back, they put me on morphine and painkillers, and I just zoned out. The pain went, the fever was slowly dropping. They had to put a cannula in my arm, but they couldn't find a vein because I was so dehydrated. They tried it 5 times in my arm.
But they are rubbish. It's not like I'm gonna say, yeah, I love cannulas. They are shit.
Cannulas and blood tests. Like, do you know what I hate? Cannula is 10 times worse than blood tests.
What I hate more about a cannula is that you feel it in you.
Yeah.
Like you feel it, and you feel like if you move, it's gonna rip. So I just like that's the thing I hate more. Not putting in. It's it just being there, and I'm just like, you're inside me. You're a metal stick and it's gross.
When that cannula went in, they were flushing loads of fluids in my body.
Ooh, cold.
And I just felt just as ill, but I just knew that it was gonna get better. My mentality in there was just like, oh my God, I actually just can't believe what was going on. And then that's when the doctor sat me down and said that if I'd left it any longer, that I would have got sepsis.
Which is a poisoning of the blood that has killed a lot of people.
Checked my blood. As they checked my CT scan, my blood was infected. Basically, your kidneys clean your blood, so if both of them are infected, your blood's going to be infected as well. That can lead to sepsis. It's serious, you can die from sepsis. So that is the whole point why I want to do this video, because I'm in a position now where I'm like, why the hell didn't I go those 3 days that
You always think it's something not that deep, but you should always get checked.
Yeah.
Always. I have this like mentality, and so does my mum. You not so much. I'll get a little bit ill and I'll be like, do you know what, I need to go to the hospital just to check.
And you know, people might be like, oh my God, I can't be bothered to sit in A&E for 7 hours. I don't want it to be like, oh, she's going to hospital for nothing. I was thinking, can't be bothered to drag Josh to the hospital. Can't be bothered to sit there for 7 hours. The pain will go away if I take, like, these are things that were running through my head. But now I look back and I think like, I might might have not been here today. Like you've got to be that serious when talking about this, because that's what the hospital was telling me.
I remember when I had a UTI once and I couldn't get rid of it. Like I had to try like 3 different antibiotics, and they said to me, if I don't fix it, it can cause kidney infection. So you have to be proper on it.
With UTIs, people don't actually tell you this, but if it is a bad UTI and it keeps occurring, you need to have antibiotics, because cranberry juice,
I feel
it's not what will get rid of a UTI. I'm saying this right now, I had no symptoms of a UTI. My wee didn't sting, I had no belly pains, I was not on the toilet all the time, because it never went through my wee. It went to my kidneys instead. And that is something that is really mind-blowing for me, because how am I ever supposed to know?
And the fact you've had UTIs before.
Yeah, I chose not to vlog or film this in the hospital because it was a very sad ward.
Do you know what? When we all went to visit Megan, it was actually really, I want to use the word depressing, because it actually is. Like, I'd walk in there and like a feeling of the whole place, the environment was just sad. It was just so upsetting. Like, you have family members crying for their family members. We have like
I saw some stuff that's changed me for the rest of my life. Like, I was on a really, really sad ward, and I was around a lot of like old people that had been in the same situation as me. Just remember thinking, like, why the hell am I here?
You were the youngest girl.
Why am I here?
All the others were very much older than Megan.
Yeah.
It's just so sad, and you just look at it and you really have a different like perspective on things.
My perspective of things now, being in that situation, I was in hospital for basically 6 days. Being around what I've seen, just loads of poorly people. I have never appreciated my health more than I do to this day, because I am getting better now. I'm not 100%. I'm still moaning to Millie all the time saying I feel sick. Like, the medication's making me feel so ill as well. But I have never appreciated my health. I only got to see people for 4 hours a day, and the rest of the time I was literally staring at the ceiling or trying to entertain myself, or I was seeing loads of sick people come in and out. As soon as one person was out, literally, the next person was in.
We'd be visiting and they'd like change.
In my room, I was the one that I saw 3 changes, so of all beds with people, and it's just like made me have a completely different outlook on loads of things now.
And also, you don't realise, like I mentioned this in the the daily vlogs that I did, you actually don't realise how much like the people do there. Like, it's about what, 40 people in your ward, I'd say. All of them are there getting free healthcare, nurses 24/7. Food is not the best.
You complain about A&E and waiting so long, but like when you get past that A&E thing and you're actually in a bed and you're seeing what's going on, like, you don't understand how much they do. Like, I could not praise them enough for how much they helped me. And I actually got to a point where I was so low mentally. Every day they lifted me up and they were like, come on, like, you're gonna get through it, we're gonna make sure your bloods get sorted.
They were nice.
They were so lovely, and wasn't it the colour like out my face, like,
oh yeah, you looked so white, Meg. You looked so ill, and she looked so skinny and fragile, and I was like, we need to bring her some sweets or some cake to like fill her up. So.
Yeah, I wasn't eating any meals. Like, that's why I've literally come out of hospital now and I'm eating a slice of toast. I'm like, oh, I'm full.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I literally, honest to God, I can't thank you guys enough for, I got thousands of messages and thousands of comments, and how much our videos, like, everyone was loving and supporting our videos at the time as well. But it was such a massive blur to me until now, and I just want to say
it was very
massive
weird.
Thank you.
Strange.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was only in there for 4 days, and my mental health was so low, and I was crying on FaceTime to Josh so much. Like, bless him, like, Josh was having to sneak in at night time saying, oh, she's forgot something. He was there start to the end, and then he came in the night, and then you came in during the day, and I just thought, like, if he hadn't tried to see me at the night time, like, I'd just be crying all night. And I just think I got to leave, but so many people are not like in that situation. They have to stay. And that's why me and Millie, we really want to start doing more in that sense. We need to do more. We should do more as well for that kind of, for charities and for hospitals.
It's sad, but it's nice to see that this is what our country gives to people.
Yeah, and I'm so happy to be on the mend, and I'm so happy that I'm feeling back to normal. But yeah, this whole video is a video that we're back. We're gonna be back filming. Thank you so much, guys, for all the love and support, and we appreciate you so much.
I think the moral of this story is, Don't ignore your body's signs. They're giving you a sign that you're not okay. Don't ignore it.
Yeah, your body tells you when something's up. You'll heat up, you'll feel sick, and if medication doesn't help you, you need to take it seriously.
And go to the doctors.
Yeah.
Even if you think it might not be that deep, you never know.
So I had one question about what happens now. I've got to just make sure that it doesn't happen again. It can happen again. It's just a possibility. Drinking wise, I don't drink a lot, but I won't be really drinking for a long time now. Yeah.
I'll drink for you. I'm joking.
I'll be just sticking to water because your kidney's got to work more. I just want to say thank you very much, and I hope you have enjoyed this video.
Make sure you guys like, comment and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and follow us on TikTok. And we will see you guys next week at 6:30.